You have been appointed an attorney by Recorder's Court Clerk's Office. You're rejecting and do not accept that appointment, is that true?
Yes, sir, you're right, Your Honor.
And you're ready to proceed without retaining other counsel?
Yes, sir.
Have you had any legal background?
No, sir, but can I pull out my iPad? I have my case notes and everything on my iPad. I wasn't able to print it out because I was at work, but I do have my case notes. I also have the body camera and the dash cam, so I have the evidence to go on with the preliminary.
Do you know how to present?
Why are we driving so fast, dude? Driver's license, proof of insurance.
Why am I stepping out of the car?
Listen, because you traffic offense, traffic stop.
Offense?
You were speeding, reckless driving through a neighborhood.
So you in the neighborhood for something else. I'm just getting out work, and you think you see my car, you think I'm a part of the bullshit.
No.
Because you can't say I was reckless driving. You coming from that way.
I absolutely can. Based on your speed through a neighborhood,
What was my speed?
Doesn't matter.
What was my speed?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter, because you saying that I was speed. What was my speed?
I will testify to it in court.
You would testify to it in court.
All right. So I'm coming into the neighborhood here, and as I'm pulling in, I see a car coming this way down this side street there at an extreme high rate of speed. So I immediately turn my blue lights on. He stops at the stop sign. He's at the stop sign. I'm kind of like this. Put my takedowns on. He starts rolling his window down. So I go to roll my window down. He rolls it up and then whips it in here. Okay. So I pulled in behind him. Now, you can lift there for now.
Copy, Central listed 501.
Where are you flying? Stop!
Your incident has been updated.
Why are we driving so fast, dude? Driver's license, proof of insurance. 9-1. Start me a supervisor is requesting one. Driver's license, proof of insurance. Driver's license, proof of insurance. Go ahead and step out.
Call your supervisor.
He's en route. Go ahead and step out.
Call your supervisor.
Go ahead and step out for me.
Call your supervisor.
He's en route, but you're going to go ahead and step out.
Why am I stepping out of the car?
Listen, because you traffic offense, traffic stop.
Offense?
You were speeding, reckless driving through a neighborhood.
I was speeding, reckless driving through a neighborhood.
So go ahead and step out of the car.
How did you see me speed, reckless
go
driving
ahead and
through
step
a
out of the car.
Sir, how did you see me reckless driving through a neighborhood, sir?
This does not need to go the way it's going to go.
Sir,
but it's going to go that way.
Which way is it going to go?
You're going to go to jail.
For what?
For resisting. This is a lawful traffic stop. Just hand me your driver's license. My supervisor's en route.
Sir, I don't consent to no search.
I'm not searching you.
I don't consent to anything.
I'm not searching you. This is a lawful traffic stop. So hand me your driver's license, please.
When your officer get here, but
you
sir,
cannot delay my traffic stop. My sergeant is en route.
You did not do a traffic. First of all, sir,
that's why my license sirens are on.
Sir, you was coming towards me. Was your body cam on?
It absolutely was the entire time.
Okay.
And my dash camera was running.
Where did you see me? Where did you see me driving reckless, sir?
Right there. Right there.
Where?
On the road that you were coming down at a high rate of speed. Okay.
I'm speed detection certified. You have a radar in your car? So how fast was I going?
Driver's license, proof of insurance.
How fast was I going?
You're about to catch an obstruction charge.
I'm not catching. How would I?
Driver's license.
Obstruction charge. I'm asking you a question.
Listen.
I'm asking you a question, sir.
Listen.
First of all, I'm on my property, sir.
Okay.
That's another.
I stopped you in the road.
You did not stop me. You turned. You were turning the corner, and you blue light.
I blue lighted you.
That didn't mean you was coming to stop me. That did not mean you was coming to stop me, sir.
Okay.
That did not mean you was coming to stop me, sir. If you were going to blue light me, sir, you should have came around and you should have blue light me. I'm turning the corner. You made blue lights. I didn't know that was a traffic stop.
Driver's license, proof of insurance.
The fuck? Right, man. What,
driver's license, proof of insurance.
Well, I wait for your supervisor.
No, when driver's refusing to identify himself.
I'm not refusing to identify myself. I said I would proceed when your supervisor get here.
That's not how the law works.
When
you can request a supervisor, but you still have to continue with my traffic stop until he gets here. I can wait till
he get here.
No, you cannot. That is Georgia law.
So I can wait. You don't know who I am.
You've been misinformed,
sir. You really don't know who I am.
I don't need to know who you are.
Okay, all right. That is okay. That is okay.
Let me see your
driver's license. It looks like your supervisor's coming right here.
And then you'll wait for my supervisor.
Sir, listen. Let me tell you something. You gonna get you about to get ready to know who I am. But for what you did, if this was a traffic stop, that was not a traffic stop because, sir, when I stopped at the stop sign, was turning to come to my house. You blue light me.
I don't have to be behind
you. You did not blue light me. You blue light me when I pulled in my driveway.
No,
you blue light me when I got in my driveway. You pulled behind me to conduct the traffic stop. That's what you did, sir. That's what you did, sir. But we'll request for your body cam and dash cam, sir.
This was running, and that was running the entire time.
Okay, but sir, again. I was at the stop sign. You were coming from that way. You initiated your blue lights. Not enough to do a traffic stop. I was able to turn. That's not a traffic stop.
Okay. You rolled your window down, and I hit my siren, and then you continued driving.
I did not for you. I was rolling my window up. You did not blue light me and get behind me, sir, until I put into my driveway. Until I put into my driveway. All right. Well, we get your body cam and all that. It's cool. Is this your supervisor right here?
Nope.
It's not your supervisor either?
Nope.
Okay. So now we got the whole force out here for what you said, the last traffic stop, right?
Traffic stop.
Okay.
So you're going to delay my
badge number?
Officer Salvo.
So let me ask you this: What's your SOP say?
Can I answer your question?
No, let me. You didn't ask me because I never asked the question. If it was a traffic stop, why didn't you not come up to my car and say? Why didn't you not come to my car and say I'm Officer What and this is a traffic stop? Why did you immediately come up here and tell me to get out of my car, sir?
I didn't. I asked you for your driver's license.
Okay, why you asking for my driver's license? Tell me why you asked me for my driver's license.
Because I'm conducting a traffic stop.
Okay, for what? What offense?
Reckless driving.
Reckless driving.
Yes.
Why did you not start the beginning with that? I'm Officer Salat, whatever your name is, with Chatham County Police Department, and this is a traffic stop for this violation. Because that was never done.
Because you pulled off from me after
I never pulled off. If that's the case, then you're trying to say I'm fleeing to Lou. I pulled into my fucking driveway, bro.
Okay.
This is my house.
Okay.
You came from that way, so where the hell you got me reckless driving if you came from that way? So you in the neighborhood for something else. I'm just getting off work, and you think you see my car, and you think I'm a part of the bullshit.
No.
Because you can't say I was reckless driving. You coming from that way.
I absolutely can. Based on your speed through a neighborhood,
What was my speed?
Doesn't matter.
What was my speed?
Doesn't matter.
It does matter, because you saying that I was speed. What was my speed?
I will testify to it in court.
You would testify to it in court. What was my speed, sir?
I don't need to tell you that.
You need to tell me if you said I was speeding, because you're supposed to be giving me a ticket, right?
I said reckless driving.
Reckless driving? What's reckless driving, sir? Reckless driving is a high rate of speed, but you coming from that way. How can you say I'm coming from reckless speed?
Not always.
Reckless speed.
Not always.
Hey, bro, you're real funny, but I can't wait till your supervisor get here, and I can't wait to get your dash cam and your body cam.
Absolutely.
You don't know who I am.
I don't need to know
but I'm going to have a field day with you.
Absolutely. You're still obstructing right now.
How am I obstructing? I'm asking you questions.
Your driver's license.
I delayed giving you my driver because I'm asking you. We got to get an understanding. I delayed giving you my driver's license, but I never refused to give you my driver's license. I requested for a supervisor for this traffic stop to continue. But again, sir, you pull me over on my property where Okay, sir. All right. Okay. You know what?
You can request a supervisor, but you cannot delay my traffic stop while you wait for a supervisor.
Like I say, I hope you had everything and you're doing everything that you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Because we will definitely request this body cam.
Absolutely. I hope you do. That's your right.
And this dash cam.
Yes, sir.
But
absolutely.
It's reckless driving. If you're blue lighting me, you could have came on the intercom and said that you're initiated a traffic stop, sir.
My intercom doesn't work right now.
Oh, well, so that's not my fault.
No, it's not.
But
it's
again,
not my fault either.
If you're doing a traffic stop,
you rolled your window down, and I was going to tell you, but then you rolled it up and pulled off. Which is all recorded.
Okay, but again, you never told me that you was pulling me over.
My blue lights and sirens
that you're turning the corner going that way. You could have been telling me that you're going to emergency.
I pointed directly at you.
You ain't fucking pointing at me.
The Dashcam recorded it. My
You did
car
not
was stopped.
point at me, bro.
My car was stopped
I
in the
made
road.
it. So you literally think I'm up 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm going to ignore you because I'm coming to my house. I'm just getting off work, sir. I don't have time to fucking play with you.
That's fine. That's
Fuck.
perfectly fine.
Well,
May I
you
see your driver's
funny.
license?
You're funny as a fuck. Y'all funny, bro.
Okay.
Y'all some bullshit. You don't want to be like, I'm going to just let you know, you don't want to be like the last officer that tried with some bullshit.
May I see your driver's license,
This is
please?
bias-based police profile, and I want you to know that.
Thank you, sir.
Once officer.
All right. So I'm coming into the neighborhood here, and as I'm pulling in, I see a car coming this way down this side street there at an extreme high rate of speed. So I immediately turn my blue lights on. He stops at the stop sign. He's at the stop sign. I'm kind of like this. Put my takedowns on. He starts rolling his window down. So I go to roll my window down. He rolls it up and then whips it in here. Okay. So I pulled in behind him, and yeah, he's suspended. And he refused to give his ID for like the first half of the traffic stop.
He gave it to you now?
Yep, got it now, which comes back suspended.
Is this his house?
It doesn't come back to the license on house, but he said he lives here.
Okay.
But he wants a supervisor. He said he's gotten another officer before, and he's going to get another one. I don't know what that means, but
what we're going to do now, we're going to get some tickets, okay? All right? But for now, just because of how the encounter's going, tensions are kind of high, I'm going to ask you to step out of the vehicle, and we're going to do these tickets at the back of the vehicle. We're going to verify some info, okay? You mind stepping out for me?
Oh, my God.
All right. Appreciate it. Couple of questions. So you're longshoreman from the ports?
Yes, sir.
Are you leaving work currently?
Yeah, just leaving
What's
work.
going on?
I'm just leaving work.
You're just leaving work? Okay. This is your house?
Yes.
Do you live here with anybody else, or do you live here alone?
That's none of your business.
Okay.
That has nothing to do
Well,
with
is this the address on your driver's license?
No, it's not the address of my driver's license.
9-1, he's talking to my suspect.
I'm going to talk with Officer Salver real quick, and I'll come back and talk to you.
He's talking to a suspect right now.
He's running our way when he's running 142 Little River Drive.
Issuing citations or arresting?
Oh, so as I explained to him multiple times, he has every right to request a supervisor, but Georgia law requires that you cannot delay a traffic stop. And I explained that to him, that you do still have to provide your identification, and then you can wait for a supervisor. And he refused multiple times, not verbally, but he's just continued to ignore my request for his driver's license on multiple requests. So at least obstruction and driving suspended, because there's 2 different suspensions.
Well, I would get him for what you were originally pulling over for.
Yeah, we're a reckless driving. I mean, coming through here at the speed he was going, which I didn't pick up his speed, but I mean, I visually could tell it was extreme. It was a high rate of speed for a neighborhood.
Now, the time limit on the delay can be interpreted, it's kind of up to interpretation. So, how did he delay you?
By not giving it, by not giving his driver's license. I mean, he obstructed by not giving a driver's license when I requested it, and then I asked him to step out of the vehicle multiple times, and he did not. He said, "I'm waiting for a supervisor," which he can wait for a supervisor, but you also cannot obstruct, because I've read up on that on multiple times. And,
I just want to hear.
No, of course.
Yeah.
And you can't. You can obviously wait for a supervisor, but you have to at least give me your identification, and then proceed from there, which I explained. Okay. I said, just give me your driver's license, and then we'll wait for my supervisor. Okay. But
has he been served?
There's no serve date, but there's 2 separate. One's like a I got it pulled up. I really don't care either way. I mean, I'm okay with citations, and at the end of the day, but whatever your opinion is, I know.
Typically, when they don't have a serve date, they don't know they're suspended.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they've gotten personal service through the mail, or when they've been served in the fashion of being pulled over and being told that they've been served. So
my biggest problem is the level of not physical obstruction, but you know,
The delay.
the obstruction.
That happens a lot. You know, but he did come back and, you know what I mean, eventually cooperated.
Yeah, I mean,
So, you wanted to do the paperwork and citations?
yeah,
So,
I
mean,
guess.
it's kind of like having a tag laid out and not knowing about it, you know what I mean? You don't know unless you've been served. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's something that
Or been told.
the Porsche verifies all that.
Well, the board should have ran that, correct? But we can't rely on other people. You know what I mean? So, is that what we're going to do?
Yeah.
I think that would probably be in our best interest for this one.
Yeah. Oh.
Taking his ass.
Yeah. Well,
That was.
I knew how that was going.
Dang, man.
Yeah.
That was.
Yep.
Obstruction, suspension.
Oh, easy obstruction. I explained it multiple times that you just can't delay a traffic stop while you wait for a sergeant.
You asked him for his license, he wouldn't give you his
Multiple times.
You asked him to get out of the car, he didn't get out of the car.
Multiple times. That's why I just kept asking. And just building it.
Dang. You know Odell's got it.
She's got a form.
What'd you write it for?
Reckless driving and driving while suspended or revoked. Because when I came down here, he was coming so fast down that street. And then he saw me because I had my takedowns on, and he slowed down. And then he creeped up, stopped at the stop sign. And that's when I pulled up straight to him. He starts rolling his window down, looks me in my face, and then cranks it back up and pulls in here quick. You said she's bringing one?
Yeah.
Okay. Copy. All right, I'm just waiting for an officer to bring me a license suspension.
Officer Richard Salva. Attorney Hess.
Jones?
Malika Jones.
I didn't hear him anyway.
Mr.
Jones? Huh?
Yes, I am.
What did you say?
I am. I didn't want you to represent me if you didn't get the case dismissed. It's easy. I have body cam, dash.
I'd wait until you all finish if you'd like, and then I'll conduct the court's business. So go ahead.
Apparently, he's saying he doesn't want me to represent him, Your Honors. I mean, this is the first conversation we've had. He wasn't here earlier when I called out his name. So is that what you want to proceed pro se?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then raise your hand. Anybody plan to testify? Are you testifying?
Yes, sir.
Then raise your hand.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I do.
Under the Sixth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, you have a right to the assistance of an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, then the state is obligated to appoint you an attorney. You have been appointed an attorney by Recorder's Court Clerk's Office. You're rejecting and do not accept that appointment, is that true?
Yes, sir. You're right, Your Honor.
And you're ready to proceed without retaining other counsel.
Yes, sir.
Have you had any legal background?
No, sir. But can I pull out my iPad? I have my case notes and everything on my iPad. I wasn't able to print it out because I was at work, but I do have my case notes. I also have the body camera and the dash cam, so I have the evidence to go on with the preliminary.
Do you know how to present evidence in the court?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how to get it into the record?
I would have to do a file, but I actually called to get her off of my case, but they told me it'll be 30 days, and I wanted to kind of go ahead and get this case over it.
You know that you're charged with reckless driving?
Yes, sir. I'm aware that was the allegations.
Driving while license suspended or revoked?
Yes, sir. I understand that is the allegation as well, sir.
And to both you're in a plea of not guilty?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the consequences of each?
Yes, sir.
What are the consequences of reckless driving? What could you be sentenced to?
I could be sentenced up to a year, $1,000 fine, and definitely for possibly 7 points on my additional points onto my driver's record.
Let's proceed.
Can I pull out my iPad for my notes if you don't mind?
Oh, depends on where you're pulling it from.
Oh, it's on the Google Docs, just notes. It's not.
Okay, yeah.
It's Google Docs.
Your Honor,
I don't want to flip it.
Your Honor, am I excused?
You are excused.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Yes, ma'am. Officer, neither one of you have been sworn. Did you do this?
Yes, sir. We did.
State your name, place of employment, job title.
Yes, sir. I'm Officer Richard Salva with the Chatham County Police Department, and I'm post-certified.
All right. On August 17, 2024 at 05:25 a.m., did you have the occasion to come in contact with this defendant?
Yes, sir, I did.
When you came in contact with the defendant, were you in the course of your employment as a police officer with Chatham County?
Yes, sir, I was.
Were you in uniform?
Yes, sir.
Were you in a county-issued vehicle?
County-issued marked vehicle, yes, sir.
All right. The first charge is you charged him with driving while license suspended or revoked. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
What's the factual basis for that charge?
Based on running him through GCIC, NCIC, he came back suspended. I confirmed that with our records department that he was suspended, and he came back suspended.
Okay. He was further charged with reckless driving.
Yes, sir. If I can give some backstory to that.
Please.
We had gotten a call for a vehicle in that area driving recklessly with its headlights off. We have a high problem with stolen autos in that area, and then kids driving at a high rate of speed through the neighborhoods. So we had found that vehicle that was driving at a high rate of speed. It crashed into a patrol car. 5 occupants got out on foot and began running. They ran across from Laurel Green Court, across Quaco Road, and then to the road where I saw Mr. Jones here. They were running on foot, and then when I saw Mr. Jones, I had all my white takedown lights on, looking for the suspects running. They were all wearing dark clothing. When I witnessed his vehicle driving at what appeared to be a high rate of speed.
And what's the speed limit?
25.
And what is your estimate of the speed he was traveling?
45 to 50, sir.
Was it day or night?
Early morning, about 5 a.m., I believe.
Was it
4 a.m.
daylight at that point or not?
It was dark and not lit.
Could you see him inside the vehicle?
No, sir.
And is this the same vehicle that wrecked?
No, sir.
How did you determine that he was the one driving?
He was driving west on the road, and I was going north. So when he came up to the stop sign that I was approaching, I was able to see straight into his windshield because I had all my white lights on at that time. But it wasn't until after he got closer to my vehicle that I saw him.
And what kind of vehicle was he driving?
It was a black SUV. I don't have the citation with me, sir.
Did you immediately stop him?
I immediately turned my lights and sirens on, and then he stopped, but then proceeded to continue to drive and pull into his driveway because he said he didn't know I was pulling him over.
All righty. You had your body-worn camera?
Yes, and a dash camera.
Did you speak to him?
Yes, sir, I did.
And did you ask him about the incident?
When I approached his vehicle, he had 2 cell phones in his hands, and he did not want to answer any questions. He refused to give his driver's license, and he immediately asked for a supervisor. And the traffic stop did not continue until my supervisor arrived about 30 minutes later. He refused ID until that point.
The vehicle mounted on your vehicle, the camera mounted on your vehicle, did it pick up any of this incident?
It did not pick up the full span of what I could see with my eyes. It did pick him up approaching the stop sign, but after what I saw.
So it didn't capture the charge?
No, sir, it did not.
Anything else you'd like to offer?
Since that day, he has continued to drive while suspended. I was on a traffic stop on Ogeechee Road after the fact. He pulled up behind me in the emergency lane, started recording my traffic stop. I was not going to discontinue the stop I was on because I had PC to search the car, but I saw him in the car. I ran his record again, and he still came back suspended.
All right. Do you have questions?
Yes, I do have questions for him, Your Honor. Officer Salver, you said that I was going about 30 to 45 miles per hour that you saw me traveling, correct?
45 to 50 would be my guess, sir.
Can you tell the court your positioning of where you observed my speed going? Like, what direction were you traveling when you saw me speed? When you saw me supposedly speeding, and what direction I was traveling when you observed this supposedly reckless driving?
I was driving northbound, you were driving westbound.
You said you was in the area for a call of a, what was the description on the vehicle that you had?
It was a black sedan.
The black sedan.
Yes, sir.
And you know the difference between a sedan and an SUV, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you remember telling your first responding officer that you thought that my car was the second suspect for the call that you had in the area?
No, sir, I did not.
You don't? You don't remember saying that on your BWC?
I did not say that. Okay. I think you misunderstood, sir.
Okay. Do you also remember telling your supervisor that arrived to the scene that you did not use a speed detection device?
Yes, I did.
And do you remember continue telling everyone that came to the scene that you saw me flying down the street?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what's your definition of flying down the street, sir?
About 45 to 50 miles an hour, sir.
Okay. And you said that I came to a stop sign, correct?
Yes, sir, you did.
So if a car is approaching the stop sign, if they're doing 45 to 55 miles per hour approaching the stop sign, will they be able to stop completely in front of the stop sign?
45 to 50, sir, but you slowed down prior to reaching the stop sign.
And you said your dash cam did not catch everything that you say go with the charges?
My dash camera did not have a wide enough angle to catch you approaching at the speed you were approaching at.
Okay. So you say I was going 45 to 55 miles per hour, and if you charge my client with going 45 to 55 miles an hour in a residential neighborhood, why didn't you mark that on the citation that night? You don't have your citation on you?
Because I wasn't able to obtain your speed.
Do you understand with reckless driving, you have to be able to determine the speed of one factor is you have to determine the speed. You do know that, correct?
Yes, sir. Reckless driving is the reckless disregard for the persons or property.
Was anybody outside? Did you observe anybody outside?
Yes, the 5 people running from us on foot that I explained to you.
Did you see them outside during the time you see my vehicle traveling out that way?
They were running in the direction that you were coming from.
Did I match the description of anyone that was out on foot that you were in the area looking for?
No, sir, you did not.
Did any of my clothing appear to match that description at all, either?
No, sir, you did not.
Then you also said that when my client asked you at the scene, were you in the area for something else, and you thought he was connected to it, you said no, correct?
I don't recall saying that.
When your backup officer said that you were in the call for a high alert call, that my car matched the description of the call, did you not say that that call was already disabled?
Yes, that part I did.
I had nothing to do with the call.
Yes, you had nothing to do with it.
So why is this traffic stop tied to that CAT report?
It should not be, sir. I didn't put your traffic stop with that CRN.
Sir, you sure?
I did not. Yes, sir.
You did not. So how would a traffic stop be tied to that CRN under that CAT report?
I did not tie that traffic stop with the CRN for that crash.
So is that something that commonly happened with Chatham County?
From my knowledge, it's not tied to it, sir.
Are you sure?
I said from my knowledge.
Your knowledge. Okay. Did you say you would be willing to come in court and testify about my speed, correct?
I did.
And did you ever tell me my speed during the traffic stop?
No, because as I stated, I did not obtain your speed.
And for the record, wasn't your probable cause supposedly for the traffic stop was the reckless driving, correct?
Yes, sir, it was.
And not the driving with suspended license, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that was determined after you made the initial stop for reckless driving at a high rate of speed without capturing my speed on the speed detection device, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your Honor, no more further questions.
What do you do?
I do a lot. I'm a longshoreman. I do a lot of things, but
Where'd you go to college?
I did a year at Savannah State. But Your Honor, this is the second viral traffic stop I've had in the last year with law enforcement being profiled. Absolutely have nothing to do, and I'm tired of it. I could not let someone come up here and fight for me that does not know the backstory, that does not know why I react the way that I react. I warned this officer when he approached me illegally, and I told him that he could be next, and that video went viral within 2 days. People reached out to Chatham County, and Chatham County stood behind this officer. This officer is still in our community, profiling people on traffic stops, and I'm tired of it, sir. I'm tired of it.
Let me ask you, is your license suspended?
Your Honor, if I can submit this to, I have a limited driving permit that's dated for 8/17, the same day that this citation was given. This is the paper copy. I also have the hard copy in my car that I drive around with. I don't play about my license. I'm a longshoreman. I work off my license. I was also not notified that my license was suspended, and he knew that I was not notified that my license was suspended.
How does he know that it?
Because it was discovered on the stop. He told his supervisor. He even told me, and it's even on DVS, that I was not notified, and I paid super speeder tickets and tickets all up until that moment that my license was suspended. So I was not notified, Your Honor, about my license being suspended. I just got through working 14 hours at Georgia Court off of my driver's license.
So after this incident, you went to DDS?
Yes, sir.
And got your license?
I got a limited driving permit.
After the stop?
Yes, sir.
Let me hear your argument as far as why this is not reckless driving.
Well, my argument is this is not reckless driving, Your Honor, because he did not have probable cause to initiate a traffic stop, because he did not capture my speed with his speed radar detector device to match what he says.
You don't have to do that under law.
What he said.
Do you have any case law that you researched that say you got to capture it on a speed device? There are a variety of ways you can determine speed.
Georgia courts have ruled that subjective observation without solid evidence, such as speed detection, may not be enough to support a reckless driving. Drake versus State, 221.
Operative word, may not.
Yes, sir.
It's not shall not. See the difference?
Yes, sir.
Did you shepherdize that case?
Sir?
Did you shepherdize that case?
No, sir.
Do you know what shepherd?
No, sir.
To shepherdize something means?
No, sir.
Since we've had court system in this country, courts have rendered verdict. It's just like Roe versus Wade was overturned. Up until then, Roe versus Wade was the law. But a year or so ago, it was overturned. So it's no longer the law.
Your Honor, may I also add something?
Sure.
As well as the 5 people running on foot, there was also a lot of parked vehicles on that road, which is the other part to it. It was the disregard for the people that were running on foot, and then the property of all the people with their cars parked on the side of the roadway.
Is there sidewalks in that area?
No, sir, there's not.
Okay. So the county has said by not having sidewalks that they don't expect people walking alongside the road.
Well, the people weren't running. They were running through yards and through the roadways. They were running from the police.
Okay, but how did he endanger them, even if he was speeding, if they're running through yards? And
They were running north through the yards, and they were crossing the road where he was coming from.
I think your argument fails on that. I agree with your conclusion that the reckless has to be a greater burden as to speed. You just can't guesstimate the speed. There has to be some objective, and the reason is you have to test it. Or otherwise, if he said you're going 1,000 miles an hour, then do you just accept that as fact? It's not enough for reckless driving. I'll dismiss the reckless driving. You are guilty of driving on a suspended license. And do you know why your license was suspended?
That's really funny because I was just looking at my license that Monday, and I was just telling my daughter's nurse that I had 11 points on my license, and come to find out that my license was suspended because of points on my license. But I was not notified, like I said, and I just had paid a ticket, $628.
Technically, you were notified, and let me tell you why you were notified. I can't pull out a gun and shoot him in the head. That'd be murder. Every citizen doesn't have to be advised that I can pull out a gun and shoot Eric in the head. When the law occurs, or when an event occurs pursuant to law, it is so notorious, the law presumes that everybody knows it. You knew it by it being presumed that you knew it. You get me?
Yes, sir.
But realistically, most lawyers don't know the law, so I don't expect to hold you to that high standard. You're right, you got suspended on points. It isn't a specific intent crime. It isn't where the state has to prove that you knowingly did this. No, it's not the case, because most speeders, you don't have to prove that they knowingly, that they had an intent. The intent in traffic has been eliminated. What they have to prove, did you do it? If you did it, legally that amounts to an intent. You've done the best job of any unrepresented person that I've seen, and I've been doing this since 1998. You did the best job. We're going to have a law school come to Georgia Southern. It's going to be about 3 years. You need to think about going to night class, becoming a lawyer. You got the flair, you even bought the ties to look like a lawyer. So think about that. I'm going to let you plead no-low contender. You know what no-low is.
Can we not motion to dismiss and non-pros? Because I don't need another job with suspended license. Because if I want to work at the sheriff's department, that's why I was actually looking at my license. That's why this is very vague. I was looking at disqualification if I want to work at the sheriff's department, and you can't have 7 or more points on your license. So I'm already in the red for that. But also, I wasn't able to volunteer at the juvenile, the RYDC, because I had a suspended license, driving with suspended license on my record. So that's why this is very important.
How old are you? 30?
I'm 27, sir.
Oh, you're a baby. Go to defensive driving school.
Okay.
They'll give you the information. Come back. December the 17th. If you come back December the 17th, the traffic school will remove, is it 5 points? I'm not sure. Is it? None of my staff knows? Oh, it's so dark. How many points?
7 points.
It removes 7? Good God. You interested in a job? No. Come back on December the 17th and at 9 o'clock. We won't need the officer, and we'll finish resolving your case.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
But you want to be a police officer.
I really want to work in law and politics, but I want to be a private investigator because I want to get the dirty cops off the street. But they say I have to do 2 years of law enforcement to be a private
The
investigator.
best way to do that is to become a police officer and work with internal affairs. That is the simplest way to do that. And newsflash, there are less corrupt cops than there are corrupt lawyers. Oh, it is. It is. Corrupt doctors who give you medicine because they're in some imaginary study and the pharmaceutical company pays them to prescribe medicine for you. Well, you can do it any way you want to do it. We'll see you back here on December the 17th.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Be safe out there.